Salve a tutti ragazzi, bentornati sul canale di QuelTaleAle, eccoci qui di nuovo con Mass Effect Andromeda. Allora, riprendiamo da dove ci siamo lasciati. Allora, conoscere il Nexus, dobbiamo parlare un po' con diversi tipi qui al Nexus, almeno iniziamo a scoprire anche qualcosina in più. Partiamo da Edison.
All right, what happened?
To who?
To whom? And your goddamn father.
Stai
Sorry,
calmo.
my face is tired from dealing with everything. And right now, I just want to know what happened with Alec. Not how he died. I pulled those logs. What happened with Pathfinder?
I don't want to get into it. Things went wrong. And now I'm the one you have to deal with.
Alec Ryder wouldn't accept that kind of ultimatum. Damned if I will. We'd never have left home if we... Not home. The Milky Way. This is home. This mess. We don't have a lot of options, Ryder. Maybe you'll prove your father right. After 14 months of failed colonization, forgive me if I don't hold my breath.
Chiediamogli un po' di
You called my
tutto,
father
dai.
Alec. No one does that.
A lot of us joined the initiative because of his vision. What he shared of it, anyway.
Were you friends? Or...
I'm not your new mother, if that's what you're asking. Or his friend. He hated that I didn't use his title. But no one's a Pathfinder until they've path-found something. Much like a colonial director without colonies.
There must be some kind of plan for encountering hostile aliens. We can't have been that naive.
We expected life, not an enemy that refuses to talk. They don't attack, they disinfect. We're nothing until we're bacteria. Sorry, 14 months and you stoop to poetry. That's how bad it is. Not sure who started it, but we're calling them Ket. Kandros will know more. Maybe too much.
You don't trust him?
I trust him to defend us. I do not trust a rising military influence in a supposedly civilian initiative. We came here to make history, Ryder, not repeat it. Ugh, goddamn poetry.
How do you fit into the Nexus leadership?
I oversee the actual settlement effort. As the number of outposts is currently less than ideal, my influence is limited. As Tan is quick to remind me. Left a perfectly adequate career as a chief officer. Provincial capital, too. Only a new galaxy could pull me away. And here we are, idling.
There's also the strange technology. Has anyone studied that?
We've tried. Not me. The brains in research. They're supposed to know their business. The current excuse? The tech we dug up on Mars was more advanced, but it was plug and go. The tech here thinks different? I don't know. We've mostly avoided it. And from what the Hyperion logs say about Alec, maybe that's good.
You've had no colony successes in over a year. How many tries is that?
Less than you'd think. The Scourge, spoiled worlds, exiles, hostiles. We can't just plop down an outpost and expect picket fences. We need the Pathfinder and Sam to scout, evaluate, and inspire. The initiative promised a goal. Andromeda has not cooperated.
And if it had?
Beautiful utopian horseshit. Colonies that produce and support each other. The Nexus a citadel, not headed by Tan, or even me.
Ok.
Excuse me, Director Addison.
Soprattutto in
Ryder?
queste fasi iniziali
It's
credo
Pathfinder.
sia...
Ryder, we're starving here. If we don't get a foundation of outposts to feed the initiative, we might as well be 600 years dead. Alec promised a lot. None of it panned out. That's what you're up against. Why people won't trust you. Why I don't trust you. Prove me wrong.
Bene, bene. Vabbè, come detto, soprattutto in queste fasi iniziali credo sia importante comunque chiacchierare un po' con tutti, anche perché ci dà gli incarichi non a caso. E poi chi ha giocato gli altri Mass Effect sa che comunque il mondo di gioco è complesso, pieno di tante sfaccettature, e quindi noi, come detto, ci informiamo al riguardo, quindi mi piacerebbe parlare un po' con tutti per capire un po' i vari punti di vista e la situazione. Andiamo con Kandros.
I know that look. The others bent your ear, did they?
Something like that?
You get used to it. Just focus on being a Pathfinder. Can't argue with results, though they'll try. Anyway, welcome to Militia HQ. Excuse the mess. This office fields militia work, Nexus security, and looking for the Turian Ark.
What's the word on the Turian Ark?
Scattered readings. Some indicate the Natanus was destroyed, others that people are alive. Who knows? If you need anything, come see me, even if it's just a vent.
Vabbè, chiediamo...
What brought you out here to Andromeda?
I was tired of being the good one.
The good one?
The Kandros family is old military. There were expectations, you know? Then my sister became a sculptor and cousin Irene went pirate on Omega. Everyone was proud that I stayed in service. But I kept wondering, when do I get my adventure? Jen Garson's dream was so grand, so gutsy, I had to be part of it.
You talk like you weren't part of the leadership. How did you end up commanding the militia?
I was escorting a prospecting team on some moon when those Ket found us. They penned us like cattle for experiments. I managed to get loose, snatched a gun, and freed the others. By the time we killed the bastards and headed back to warn the Nexus, everyone looked at me like I was in charge.
That sounds familiar.
The militia grew from there. Funny, once the heat is on, all kinds of people rise to the top.
Are the other Turians managing okay?
So-so. We're not good at sitting around in a crisis. Service before self gets drummed into us at boot camp. That's probably why so many of us are in the militia. We like to earn our citizenship, whatever galaxy we're in. But it's hard to focus with our arc missing.
What do you know about the enemies we've encountered? The Ket?
We usually see them on worlds with those alien structures. The Ket don't take kindly to anyone studying them. Not sure why. They don't talk to us. Every time we cross paths, there's a fight or they take prisoners.
Why? What do they want?
No one knows. But I've seen their weaponry and what they do to those prisoners. I want them a long, long way from the Nexus.
It's rough out there. I might need backup, if you can spare the people.
I have strike teams specializing in assault and extraction. If you need serious firepower, my Apex teams have you covered. In fact, I could give you authority to dispatch them. It'll cut down their response time.
Thank you.
Our current ops are on the terminal. See if there's anything that could use a shot where it counts.
Ok, quindi sul terminale ci sono...
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Iniziativa Andromeda, inizia Apex. Missioni squadra d'assalto. Parla con la Turia sconvolta. Allora. Vabbè, aspettate, parliamo prima con gli altri qui, poi torniamo eventualmente dal tipo a... Aspetta, siamo andati lunghi.
This is the planet where we landed.
Aspetta.
Habitat 7. It wasn't even close to livable.
That's been true of every world we've found. Ryder,
Ma scusate.
we were discussing your next expedition.
Vediamo.
I thought I didn't measure up as Pathfinder.
Director Addison keeps her own counsel. I keep mine.
And when you disagree?
I oversee the entire initiative, and I have decided to give you a chance to prove yourself. To that end, the Scourge dealt us a serious blow. Whatever it is, our scientists theorize it's not natural.
An artificial energy cloud?
It wasn't here when we left the Milky Way, yet it rendered all the golden worlds unlivable. Then there's the aliens you ran into, the Ket. They're obsessed with alien structures we found scattered around the cluster. They'll do anything to prevent others from accessing them. It seems murder isn't exclusive to the Milky Way. And now the challenge is to settle a world in spite of all that. This one here. Eos.
How?
You need to increase the viability of the planet so we can establish an outpost. Then we can bring more colonists out of stasis. The more colonists we have, the more resources we can gather to support the Nexus. Everything depends on it. There are 6 worlds we hope to settle.
Okay, but you said every planet you found is unlivable. So, how do I...
A good Pathfinder would relish the challenge of solving it.
Right. I think I should go check on things.
And if I fail, I guess it's no sweat off your back, right? You'll just look for another Pathfinder?
Placing bets on people is part of my job. Some of them pay off. Others...
Just point me to my ship and I'll be out of here.
They're prepping it now in the docking bay. The coordinates for Eos will be in the computer. And when you have a moment, we should discuss the missing arcs.
I was wondering about that.
Something wrong?
Ryder, please see me and Sam node on the Hyperion. Your implant needs attention, and we need to discuss a confidential matter.
No, I'm fine.
Aspetta però. Facci su. Aspetta. Stiamo calmi. No, visuale e movimento. Ok. Dove eravamo? Andiamo con le nostre operazioni prioritarie. Indietro stiamo facendo i nostri incarichi aggiuntivi di conoscere il Nexus, quindi so che al momento ci eravamo infrociati. Ah, dobbiamo parlare anche con però allora facciamo una cosa alla volta qua, se no.
Yes, I know the Hyperion docking
Eccola,
unannounced
diciamo.
caused some switches. There you are. Hope the others haven't been giving you a hard time. There's a lot that needs doing. At least with the Hyperion hooked up and feeding us power, my team and I can get more work done.
What kind of work do you do as superintendent?
I was part of the team that originally designed and built this place. I keep the station functional, or as functional as possible, considering.
Mi faccia sapere dei Krogan.
I noticed there aren't a
Siete
lot of Krogan
cazzutissimi
around.
come razza.
You haven't spoken to number 8 yet, have you?
Number 8?
Tan. Ask him why most of my people left. He'll have opinions. I can tell you this much. When the mutiny happened, a deal was made. My clan were supposed to settle matters and in return, get more say in the initiative.
Did the deal go through?
The clan held up their part, but Tan had a meltdown when he found out we wanted more say around here. Then Addison's assistant, Spender, pretended he never made the deal in the first place. It was a mess, but I don't blame my people for walking out. We're done being used.
With your clan gone, why did you stay?
It's complicated. The station and my clan both need me here.
Why do you call Tan 8?
Because he was 8th in line to take over the Andromeda initiative. I like to remind him of that now and then. Keep him humble.
Chiediamogli anche
When we
della
left the Milky
genofagia.
Way, the Krogan were still dealing with the genophage.
Right. The genophage. A little gift to our people from the Solarians thousands of years ago. That sterility virus they infected us with left most of our children stillborn. Only 1 in 1,000 survive.
What about the Krogan here in Andromeda?
There's no cure for it. But my clan was starting to show a mutation against the virus. A natural defense. During the trip to get here, Krogan underwent gene therapies to enhance the mutation while we were in stasis.
So you used those 600 years to your advantage. Gave the adaptation more time to develop.
Yeah. It's still early, but I think we made a dent. Our scientists say we've improved viability to almost 4%, which is a lot better than what we had. Beyond all the statistics, it means more Krogan children will live. It's the only way my people have a future out here.
No wonder your people have such a problem with Solarians.
Some wounds never heal. Not that my ancestors didn't provoke it. They did try to conquer the galaxy. The Solarians were forced to respond. And it's not fair to blame it all on them either. The Solarians developed the virus, but it was the Turians who deployed it. I'm hoping that's all in the past. Plenty of blame to go around, but Andromeda is about new beginnings. My people need that more than most.
Questo è anche, come detto, queste chiacchiere, tra virgolette, importanti anche per capire quelli che possono essere i risentimenti tra le varie razze, tra i vari personaggi che andremo ad incontrare e quant'altro. Come detto, chi ha giocato i primi 3 Mass Effect già sa un po' come sono andate le cose, anche se, come detto, non è necessario averli giocati per poter giocare questo, quindi noi ci rifacciamo un'occhiata.
What sort of problems have you seen on the Nexus?
Situation's gone to shit pretty much sums it up. There's arcs missing. Some idiots tried to mutiny and take over, then more idiots offended my clan, so they left. And to top it all off, the founder of the initiative, Gian Garson, was killed.
What happened to Jean Garson?
Killed in the Scourge disaster. Her and a bunch of the other leaders. 10 might know more.
And I thought the Hyperion had it bad when we arrived. Anything else?
The outposts aren't happening because we don't have resources or people, so Addison's more uptight than ever. And let's not forget how badly the station was damaged on arrival. But that's a detail, according to some. My team and I are repairing what we can. If we don't get materials soon, things will go downhill. Fast.
Direi che ci può stare.
Nothing more for now.
Try not to die out there.
Grazie.
My crew's working on it.
Allora, già che ci siamo, prendiamo un po' di robe. Se vediamo il datapad. Ok. Allora, proseguiamo anche qui, come detto. Andiamo a parlare un po' con tutti quanti, sperando operazioni, nuova zona scoperta, sperando di non imbatterci in altre missioni, tra virgolette, in corso.
Wonderful. You and your Sam are exactly what we need.
Thanks, Mr.
Professor Herrick, my colleagues and I will work with your Sam and the data you gather to solve Andromeda's scientific mysteries.
What fields do you study?
Herrick's into life sciences. I do planetary geology, oceanography, rocks and runoff. Aradana's the space and math whiz.
Not that we've had much to study, with everyone cooped up for 14 months.
But your data on the Scourge flows like poetry. Now we can better advise on repairing the damage it caused.
And maybe Addison will give us a real workspace. Who can think with all this racket?
Conoscere il Nexus, ok, parla con Ten. Ci manca solo Ten. Moment. Poi ricontrolliamo. Che si è piantato, ok. Sì, so che anche lì c'era. Allora, aspettate un attimo, vediamo giusto se dare un'occhiata, a parte che c'è un datapad. Vediamo qui.
This console reports on the militia's current strike team missions, Pathfinder. Please speak with Tyrion Candros for authorization to participate.
Ah, ok, Candros Nexus tramite. Ok. No, noi abbiamo ancora quell'altro incarico, quindi vediamo un pochino sulla mappa. Ci ha segnato questa. E vabbè, noi dobbiamo andare qui al momento, quindi andiamo prima qui, poi come detto diamo un'occhiata anche alle altre cose.
Ryder, you have my condolences for your father.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know him very well, although I understand he played a key role in planning the initiative. I'm sure he'd be concerned that we still have several arcs missing.
Any idea where they went?
Nothing certain, but tens of thousands of colonists are unaccounted for. It paints the initiative in an unflattering light. Did you have some other business?
What do I need to consider in making a planet viable?
Assuming the planet supports life, an outpost is critical. People like a roof over their heads, and you'll want to eliminate any hostile threats. Whether that's the cat or other terrors lurking in Helios, colonists being murdered on sight can be discouraging. Also, scouting and mapping terrain is a priority for any Pathfinder. And don't forget forward stations. You'll want those.
What can you tell me about forward stations?
I was afraid you'd ask. It's mostly what the engineers tell me. A forward station allows mining, equipment repairs, and resupply for field teams. I mean, who wouldn't want that? But seeing as how every colonization effort has failed, it's just theory at the moment. You get to test it out, Ryder.
What more can you tell me about the initiative?
It represents the greatest migration ever attempted. No one had ventured beyond the Milky Way before. We've all left home in search of freedom, fortune, perhaps a new beginning. We are the bravest souls each species has to offer. I hope the Nexus will serve as the seat of government for us all.
Why do you think most people came?
There are thousands of reasons, one for every colonist here. What does any pilgrim seek? Usually, happiness, finding the thing that eludes them, the thing to fulfill them. While we cannot promise they will find it, we can facilitate the search.
What do you know about the early days of the initiative?
As most everyone knows, Jean Garson's vision made it happen. She was an entrepreneur on Earth, wealthy, young for a human. Garson had the idea for the initiative in the early 2170s, I believe. Many thought leaving the Milky Way was impossible. But she persevered, and as with most great ideas, the doubters were wrong.
It looks like a melting pot around here.
The Nexus is home to several initiative species. Many came ahead of the Arks. The hope is that this station will one day serve as the governing body in Andromeda. Though I'm not sure what they were thinking, lumping Krogan into the mix. As a Solarian, my kind tend to have a low opinion of them. Nothing I've seen here has changed that.
Why don't you like the Krogan?
It's common knowledge that they are a violent, ignorant species. Long ago, they waged nuclear war on one another. Their planet was decimated. My people tried to uplift them, but the Krogan could never tame their worst instincts. What if they bring their tempers to Andromeda? We'll all be dead.
As director of the initiative, are you in charge around here or what?
If the others would allow me, they don't see me as the rightful successor.
What's their problem with you?
I am not Jean Garson. Our founder was charismatic, eccentric, larger than life. Traits I cannot hope to mimic. She and her inner circle perished in the Scourge, some at the hands of the Exiles, some never made it out of stasis. I was deputy assistant for revenue management. Then all 7 leaders above me died. I was next in line for the role.
So, you're an accountant?
Don't let that fool you. We are all capable of more than we know. When I was young, I was fascinated by the idea of exploring space. Life had its detours, and I went a different direction. Then I heard about the initiative, and saw my chance to try the path not taken. While I may not be setting foot on new worlds, my authority can ensure that you do.
Right. Sorry.
Chiediamo anche delle arche
Any more
mancanti.
information you can give me on the missing arcs?
No, and that is the distressing part. The Asari, Turian, and Solarian arcs are completely unaccounted for. If they had the same problems with the Scourge that we did, I fear the worst. Should you find any clues, please investigate. Without the other arcs, the promise of the initiative can never be fulfilled.
Beh, certo che ci sono altre arche. Vabbè, chiediamo.
Are there any other arcs we should
Insomma,
expect?
magari ci
We
sblocca
had hoped Quarians
qualcosa.
would be part of the first wave. But
No,
before departure in 2185, we got word they had technical problems with their ship. It seems they're also bringing along Drell, Hanar, and other species as well. Managing all of their biological needs caused complications. We won't see them for some time to come.
Chiediamo anche dei problemi del
Sounds
Nexus.
like the
come
Nexus
detto,
has had
magari
a rough
ci sblocca
time of
qualche
it.
missione secondaria.
Publicly, I would say we're more than up for the challenge. Privately, I can tell you, it's been a disaster.
Bene.
The Scourge killed hundreds, many of them our senior leadership. Even the founder of the initiative, Jean Garson, is dead.
We came across alien technology on Habitat 7. It seemed to affect the weather. Your people know anything about that?
There have been reports. Failed scouting missions have mentioned advanced structures of unknown design. Whatever they are, they defy explanation. But with our resources stretched so tight, no one has had a chance to study them. And what if the answer was bad for morale? Suppose these things turn people into food. All we know is the Cat are interested in them. I'd rather not stir things up.
Ok.
That's all. Thanks for your time.
I'm happy to help. You will find our futures depend on each other's success. Good luck.
Ok, allora. Questo è fatto. Vediamo un pochino adesso tra i nostri incarichi. Parla con il tecnico Patil. Tecnico in difficoltà adesso. Ma è lui? Scusi, è lei il tecnico in difficoltà.
Hey,
Ma che
you okay?
cos'è?
I'm fine. My arms got the brunt of it.
Ah beh, niente di
Stuff
che.
exploding like this happen often?
Back right after the mutiny, we had a lot of this happening. But not lately.
I wasn't there during the mutiny.
Lucky. I thought we were done with this, honestly. That maybe I was just being paranoid.
What is there to be paranoid about?
We've had 3 malfunctions in the past week.
That's not good. Sorry, understatement.
Yeah. And now I have more repairs.
Did you talk to security about this?
How can I? For all I know, someone in security is the one doing this. I've scanned all the potential sabotage areas I can think of. But I don't know who to trust anymore.
Sounds like a lot went down before the Hyperion docked.
Yeah, I guess. Wait. That's it. You can't possibly be involved in this. You weren't even here during the mutiny. Would you, if you have time? Maybe you could help me. If they start hitting critical systems.
Vediamo.
Sure thing.
Vediamo.
What can I do?
Veloce.
If you could scan these other panels while I fix this one, that'd really help. I've sent the locations to your Omni tool. Just send me the data when you're done.
Ok.
I'm fine. And I don't know, it just blew up.
Aspetta, fatemi attivare questa. Togli il tracciamento. Tracciami questa.
Find out why. Be careful.
E allora come
Pathfinder, to cover their tracks, the saboteur is overloading power to this panel from another junction relay. You can scan and trace the connective wiring to locate the surrogate panel.
ok. Allora come vabbè, penso che ormai momento, qui sotto. Ormai chi mi segue da un po' già lo sa, i giochi che mi garbano io li spippolo a dovere, controllo tutto quanto.
Scan and trace the wiring to locate the panel that the saboteur used.
Allora, quindi probabilmente possiamo seguire, non lo so, quel che va su in realtà, quindi momento, facciamo così, vediamo se ci è utile come cosa. Arriva qui dietro in realtà, quindi
Disembarkation procedures for Hyperion are on hold. Please await further instructions.
allora arriva, non lo so,
Scanning power junction relays. This panel is malfunctioning. Without more data, I cannot determine if this is a normal malfunction or sabotage.
I'll just disable power to the panel until Raj can check it out.
Ah, dovevamo fare la stessa cosa anche con quest'altro che effettivamente non abbiamo controllato. Questo va su? Oppure va su? Aspetta, va su però riscende e momento che dobbiamo fare. Controllo, presumibilmente va a questo qui, no? Aspettate, mi scusi, devo dare una controllata.
Pathfinder, I received the data from Sam. It really is sabotage.
Any idea as to who it might be?
Yeah. All these panels were worked on by Zara. I just can't believe it.
Security video logs confirm that Zara Kellis worked on these panels, as well as the one Raj Patil encountered.
Well, shit.
Tutti e due, quindi.
Any idea where she is now?
Kellis is currently working on a panel on the Hyperion main deck.
Ok, il fatto è che qua ci avviciniamo dov'è la nostra missione, quindi aspetta, cazzo, mi sa che qua poi... Scusa, ma dove cazzo mi sta mandando? Ma non posso andare qua, che poi mi togli mi fai la missione principale, puttana Eva. Aspettate. Allora, prima di proseguire questa dobbiamo...
What am I going to do?
Parliamo con la Turia sconvolta.
It's not right. It's not fair.
What's wrong?
Oh my, you're... So it's true. A Pathfinder has found us. There's hope at last. Maybe you could help. You're impartial. This whole thing has gotten so political. My husband, he's locked up and slated for exile for a crime he didn't commit.
What exactly was he convicted of?
They don't exile you for petty theft. Well, maybe this bunch would. They say it's murder. They're calling him the first murderer in Andromeda, but the dead man was his friend. He wouldn't have... There are witnesses and evidence, but it's all circumstantial. At worst, it was an accident. His name is Nilken Rensis. He could give you the details if you were willing to speak with him. Please.
Vabbè, proviamo.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure the jailer will allow you a visit. Please, tell Nilken I love him.
Allora, aspettate, mettiamo questa come missione perché quell'altra ci porta in una zona dove proseguiamo poi con quella principale, quindi non si può fare. Scusa, devo parlare con...
Pathfinder Ryder, here to see Nilken Rensis.
Ah, our murderer. Wife's here all the time. Guess she told you her sob story. Nilken, you're moving up in the world. There's a Pathfinder wanted to chat with you.
A Pathfinder, huh? They called in the big guns to exile Andromeda's first murderer.
I'm not here to exile you. Told your wife I'd look into things.
At this point, it's too late. They found me guilty.
Why don't you tell me what happened?
I was part of the futile effort to set up a colony on Eos. We were on our last legs, overrun by hostiles, our leader dead. The security chief, Reynolds, my friend, he refused to call for evacuation. I argued with him. Everyone saw.
So when he was killed, people assumed you did it?
For good reason. He ordered us to regroup and counterattack. We were moving through a sandstorm. I saw movement, thought it was the Ket, and I guess I panicked and fired. A witness saw the chief's chest explode.
Sounds like an accident.
That's what I told them. But I was enraged when we argued. There's a recording. It's ugly. Everyone's certain I did it on purpose so we could evacuate. Only my word otherwise.
I'll check out the evidence. Maybe something doesn't add up.
It'd be nice to have someone with an open mind looking at it. You're a Pathfinder. I'm sure Kandros would give you access. Maybe there's still hope.
Vabbè, proviamo, vediamo se c'è stato un errore, un qualcosa. Kandros,
That's the console for our strike teams.
What are they?
Assault and extraction
sì, ma non mi
squads.
interessa in realtà.
When we need the best, I have Apex, combat experts who've signed up to defend us. Since you have a front row view of the cluster, I can give you authority to dispatch them.
What situations should they handle?
Protecting civilian outposts, holding key positions, or just distracting the Ket.
Sta
Authorization
fa stretching là dietro.
Good luck out there.
Ok, grazie, però io sto qua per un'altra cosa.
No news on the Turian Arc yet? Or is this militia business?
Sto qua per il
I
caso
spoke
di
with
omicidio,
Nilken
in
Rensis,
realtà.
the man found guilty of the murder on Eos.
Yes, our first murder here in Andromeda. I wish it had been our last. When the colony attempts failed, it didn't help spirits that a high-ranking officer was killed by one of our own. The mutiny here on Nexus was probably inevitable, but this acted as a spark.
So there was a trial and he was found guilty?
It was short and decisive. Despite the lack of physical evidence, everything added up. His only defense was, trust me, I didn't mean to do it.
Vabbè.
That is the difference between murder and accidental death.
In this case, motive plus opportunity plus eyewitness account equals murder.
Effettivamente.
Look, knock yourself out. A key witness, Cassidy Shaw, works in operations. Go ahead and talk to her. And there's a recording of the perpetrator threatening the victim. I'll let you cue it up on the console there. As far as I'm concerned, this case is closed.
Vabbè.
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Vabbè, ci sta, dai, ci occupiamo anche... Sì, ascoltiamo la
The
registrazione.
Nexus versus Colonist Nilken, Evidence 7A.
Hiram! Hiram! They've seized the compound! Call for evacuation!
We're not giving up, Nilken. We're taking it back.
No! I'm not letting your ego get us killed! Even if I have to... No! Get him off me! Get him off me!
Ok. Dov'è la testimone su? Aspettate.
Cassidy Shaw? I'm Scott Ryder. I'm looking into the Nilken murder case.
Oh man, I thought that was over with. Have you heard the audio recording of their fight?
Sì.
Yes.
I helped pull him off Chief Reynolds. You could see it in his eyes. He was gonna kill him. Then in the sandstorm, I had a pretty clear view of the chief. He looked right at Nilken and shouted no. Then his chest burst open. I'll never forget it. The look on his face was pure shock.
Reynolds was leading you back to retake the compound. Did you agree with that?
It wasn't my place to agree or disagree. He was ranking officer. In retrospect, it is ironic. If he hadn't been killed, we all probably would have died.
Did you see any cat in the vicinity?
Nilken said so, but not that I could see. Still, the sandstorm was severe. Visibility wasn't great.
Did Nilken seem remorseful?
I lost sight of Nilken in the turmoil. When we found him, he seemed in shock. He couldn't speak. He looked nauseated. Could have been guilt. The reality of the act sinking in.
If they'd fought and Nilken threatened to kill him, why was Reynolds surprised?
Fronts fight, say things they don't mean, maybe even hurt each other. But you don't expect your best friend to shoot you. To me, that's the saddest part. The chief's heart was broken right before it exploded.
Non è che ci sia stata
I appreciate the
utilissima,
information.
cioè, non c'è niente
Of course.
utile.
It kills me we had to leave him behind. He deserved a proper funeral.
So the body was never examined? Important piece of a murder investigation.
Tian wouldn't allow a mission to go back for him. Said it was too dangerous.
E quindi mi devo parlare con quello per andare a recuperare il cadavere del tipo. Attenzione, qui le cose si fanno complicate, abbastanza complesse. Aspetta, dove sta Tan? Ah, eccolo, sta di qua. Scusi.
Something I can help you with?
I'm looking into the Nilken Rensis murder charge.
And?
I want to go to EOS and retrieve Chief Reynolds' body.
That isn't usually Pathfinder business.
First murder in Andromeda, and I'm impartial. Figured you'd want to get it right.
Settling an outpost comes first. But I suppose I have no objections. Physical evidence will only bolster the case.
The more certain we can be, the better.
All right, but let's keep it quiet. I don't want people thinking we're reopening the case. I hope anything you find reaffirms what's been done, but if it sheds a different light, we'll deal with it. We'll send the coordinates of the murder scene. Good luck.
Ok,
That's all.
Perfetto.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure. I see great things in our future.
Ok, vabbè. Esamina le prove dell'omicidio, tutti i dettagli del caso per scoprire. Ok, questo ce l'abbiamo. Sabotaggio alla stazione, dobbiamo affrontare il sabotatore, è ok. Però se andiamo nelle operazioni prioritarie, qui abbiamo esamina le missioni di squadra assalto disponibili, comunica con Sam sull'Hyperion. Ne abbiamo due. In realtà se metto un nuovo inizio, che è quella che stiamo facendo, comunque ci manda qui, presumo. Sì, cioè dove dobbiamo fare anche le altre missioni. Quindi alla fine sempre là dobbiamo andare. Quindi mi posso tenere attivata o questa o quest'altra. Io comunque qua devo andare. Quindi vabbè, andiamo. Vediamo, tra poco ci salutiamo. Sì, magari questo è uscito un video un po' più lunghetto, però abbiamo fatto un bel po' di chiacchiere con i tipi, quindi magari i video dedicati a queste saranno un po' più lunghetti. Allora, affronta il sabotatore. Aspetta, che cazzo sto io qua? Il sabotatore sta da un'altra parte. Qua invece c'è uno sconosciuto e una parete informativa. E allora perché mi ha mandato qui? Dallo sconosciuto, dove probabilmente ci sarà un'altra missione.
I'll make it right, Dash. I promise.
L'attiviamo nel caso.
I'm Nigel McCoy.
Buongiorno.
Just got out of cryo.
Welcome to Andromeda, Nigel.
Thank you. It's bittersweet, though. My little brother Dash was stationed on the Nexus. I just learned he died on Eos, trying to start a settlement.
His sacrifice won't be forgotten.
Agreed. Everything I do will be for him. I have a pendant our father wore. Dash had its match. Will you reunite them?
Vabbè, sì, tanto prima o poi scenderemo anche noi, no?
He mentioned a spot on Eos where he'd go to think. If you could leave the pendant there.
Ok, vabbè, questo ci ho piazzato sta cosa qua. E tanto anche noi dovremmo andare anche lì, no? Noi dobbiamo affrontare il sabotatore. Sì, sti indicatori comunque dovrebbero essere più in senso orizzontale, che non si capisce un cazzo così. Questa è la sabotatrice, attenzione.
Darkellis?
Yes?
I have evidence you've been sabotaging the Nexus.
What? No, I'd never... I've been looking into this myself.
Lo
I have the
psicopatico,
scans to prove it. Here, I'll transfer the scans I took to your Omni tool.
Funny. Raj was investigating the same thing, and it led us to you.
My scans point at Raj as the one. So unless someone was setting us both up, I just don't understand.
The data Miss Callis has accumulated is strangely similar to Mr. Patel's. A third party seems likely.
The real saboteur could be setting you both up.
Because we both figured out something was going on? That would make sense. It's better than thinking Raj could have done this. But it means all the data I have is useless. Wish I had access to the security cams. I bet we could find something there.
You stay put, so whoever did this doesn't realize we're onto them. I'll check out the security cams. Raj, you there?
Yes. How did it go? Is it really her?
Wasn't her. She had proof pointing at you. I figure someone's been messing with you both. Just keep a low profile and don't talk to anyone. I'm on it.
Ok. Ok. Allora, vediamo un pochino se riusciamo a beccare queste registrazioni.
This file is useless. Let's check another. And another scrambled file.
Coincidence seems unlikely.
Let's check another.
Proviamo con un altro, ma immagini di
This
sicurezza
file is also
ok.
corrupted. Definitely not a coincidence. You'd need pretty high clearance to mess with the security camera files. Someone working for Kandros, maybe.
That is the most probable scenario.
Think you can get enough out of the files to find a match using biometric scans, Sam?
The files were badly scrambled, but if I combine all the available identifiers, it might work. Based on the limited information available, we are looking for a human male, assigned either to the Nexus or Hyperion. You will need to conduct scans from close proximity.
Got it.
E che cazzo vado in giro? Scansione il personale della sicurezza nel centro operativo. Ok, qua vi conviene sempre andare a ponte abitativo, dove ci sta il coso, perché sennò qua li selezioniamo sbagliati, quindi prendete quello con l'obiettivo, altrimenti vi spostate in zone che non mi interessano. Sì, io ho fatto un paio di volte, ci ho fatto caso all'inizio che c'era più di una iconcina. Aspetta, già sta qua vicino. Eccolo. È lui il tipo sospetto. E vaffanculo, va. Dove sta l'altro? Ce ne stanno altri di qua. Questo è un altro tipo della sicurezza. Non è vero. Noi che andiamo in giro con sto coso qua. Allora, eccolo qua. Questo sta pure a mastrugliare
Scan
su sti
results
cosi.
show a partial positive. Target is most likely suspect.
Who is he?
Ah, giovane.
Dale Atkins, right? We need to talk.
Look, not to be rude, but I have work to do.
We know what you've been up to. You're done here.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just doing my job, that's all.
Proof says you've been up to no good.
Figures. Screw this. Screw all you hypocrites on this station. You weren't here when they kicked out our loved ones. Mutiny? We just wanted answers. My sister is out there. I don't even know if she's alive or...
Whatever happened back then, hurting people now makes no sense.
What do you know? I don't care what you think. The mutiny leaders were right to demand to know what was going on.
You could have hurt people, killed them.
Like those who got killed when the leadership had the Krogan stomp on my friends? I'm done talking. I confess, it was me. Do whatever you want.
Not my call. The Nexus leaders will make that decision.
That lot make a decision? That'll be the day.
Ok, il primo caso è risolto, attenzione. 73 punti vivibilità Andromeda acquisiti. Poi scopriremo cos'è, più 530 XP, punti esperienza. Speravo un po' di più tutte ste cazzi indagini. Comunque ragazzi, a questo punto direi di salutarci qui con questo episodio di Mass Effect Andromeda. Mi raccomando, voi come sempre commentate, fatemi sapere la vostra anche su questi video dedicati, dai, alle missioni secondarie, a questi incarichi. E poi c'è anche l'assassino qua, le prove dell'omicidio andremo a controllarle. E come detto, fatemi sapere la vostra. Io vorrei fare sia missioni secondarie che missioni principali, quindi magari vi posterò un bel po' di video. Però il gioco, come detto, io me lo gioco come lo giochereste voi, penso in prima persona. Non credo che se prendete un gioco del genere andate a testa bassa solo con la missione principale, se no non ve lo godete, sarebbe anche inutile giocarlo. Comunque ci vediamo al prossimo appuntamento. Allora dai, un saluto a tutti da QuelTaleAle.